coastal city of Mombasa, actually to be specific, at Jomvu area, where Jubilee leaders led by President Uhuru Kenyatta are at this moment, as I've already mentioned, at the coast, where they are expected to hold a rally at Jomvu. Now the leaders are eyeing to penetrate a region perceived as an opposition stronghold. Our reporter Francis Mutalaki is there and now joins us live. Francis, what is happening there now?
Well, good afternoon, Yusuf. Currently, I'm at Jomvu Primary School, where the President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected any moment from now to arrive at this place so that he can be able to address some of his supporters from the Jubilee side in Jomvu constituency here in Mombasa County. But we understand that the President currently is in Malindi constituency in Kilifi County, where he's together with the deputy. They are having a rally there before they come to this area. And maybe if we can be able to give you a picture of what is happening here. These are some of the residents who have come here to listen to what the president will be having for them in terms of politics for 2017 and as well as development matters. Remember that the Jubilee administration has been very critical, saying that they have done what it takes for them to have a second time in office. And the leaders from this region, and specifically Mombasa County, have been bashing the government, saying that the national cake has not arrived to this region, specifically Mombasa County. And so it will be interesting to see how President and his deputy will be addressing the residents of Mombasa and specifically Jomvu constituency. And given that there is some construction that have been happening when you move around the Mombasa County and Jomvu constituency in terms of decongesting Mombasa. But Yusuf, if you can allow me so that I can speak to some of the residents here who are gathered here waiting for the president, probably to have one or two issues. Mzee, labda unaweza kutuanza kwa majina yako na utueleze umko hapa, labda unatarajia rais aweze kuzungumzia nini?
Kwa jina langu naitwa Stanley Maura, ni mzee wa kijiji Jomvu Madukani. Kuna mambo ambao tuliahidiwa kama wazee wa mitaa ya kwamba serikali yatuangalia, bado haijatuangalia. Jambo lingine ambalo ningependa nimwambie rais ni kwamba wananchi wamelemewa na maisha, mambo ya hospitali na mambo ya shule hiyo angalie. Jambo lingine ambalo ningependa nimwambie ni kwamba katika siasa yake mabroka hawafiki mashinani, wako juu.
Labda kukatiza tu, labda tukija katika masuala ya siasa, tumeona pia ili ni ngome ya upinzani, na kwa sasa Jubilee pia wamekuwa wakikuja. Labda nia yao ni nini hususan?
Nia ya?
Labda upinzani umekuwa kwamba ukisema kwamba hii ni ngome yao kwa katika kaunti ya Mombasa, na pia tunaona siasa zimechacha kila rais anapokuja hapa na naibu wake. Maoni yako ni yapi kuhusiana na siasa za mwaka 2007?
Mimi kitu ningesema ni kwamba kama rais anataka apenetrate katika hii ngome, lazima awe na watu mashinani, sababu mabroka hawaingii kwa wananchi, wako juu.
Asante sana kwa muda wako. Well, Ibrahim, that is one of the residents from Mombasa County, and maybe I would want to pick some of the leaders here who are waiting for the president. Maybe you can begin by introducing yourself, alafu tueleze wewe ungependelea labda rais aweze kuzungumzia kuhusu nini?
Mambo ambayo ningependa mheshimiwa rais aongelee katika hapa Jomvu ni mambo ya amani na watu wapige kura kwa utulivu.
Na tukiangalia pia kuna masuala ya maendeleo, na upande wa upinzani pia umekuwa ukisema kwamba katika ile keki ambayo inakwenda katika eneo la pwani na hususan katika kaunti hii ya Mombasa ni kidogo ukilinganisha na maeneo mengine.
Kusema ukweli, ile maendeleo ambayo serikali ya Jubilee ikiongezwa na rais, yale mambo ambayo yamefanya Mombasa ni mambo mengi sana. Maendeleo makubwa kama mambo ya SGR yamefanywa na serikali ya Jubilee na inaanzia hapa Mombasa na ina manufaa mengi hapa Mombasa. Ukiangalia upande wa Lamu kuna mambo ya coal plant, kuna mambo ya lapset, kuna mambo mengi ambayo Mombasa wamefaidika hata kuliko zile makaunti zingine ziko Kenya. So kwa upande kwa niaba ya anti-community caucus ningependa kusema ya kwamba watu wa hapa Mombasa na coast mzima tuunge mkono rais, tupige kura kwa utulivu na tupatie kura Jubilee, ndiposa maendeleo yaendelee hapa Mombasa.
Thank you so much. Well, Ibrahim, some good sentiments there in regard to the general election and the essence of having a free and peaceful elections as we head to the general election. But more importantly, looking at what has been happening in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we expect maybe the president to touch more in terms of security. Remember what has been happening in Lamu County, the recent attacks by the Al-Shabaab militia group. Maybe the president also will be talking in terms of security and maybe what his government is doing in terms of ensuring that Coast region at large is secured, and as we heard to the general election, we will have inadequate security in terms of conducting the polls. Yusuf.
Francis, thanks for that update. I understand there's another simultaneous rally just across the neighboring Mvita constituency, that is by the ODM party. What can you tell us from that rally? And the last time this kind of situation took place, remember the opposition rally was called off?
Well, earlier on, in an hour or so, I was at Mvita constituency, where the ODM, led by the Mombasa governor and the current member of parliament for Mvita, Abdul Saman Sharif, are also organizing a rally at Mvita grounds. But looking at the scenario that was there before the party primaries, we are trying to see that the distance between Jomvu and Mvita is quite long, so there could be any security threat in terms of supporters clashing. So it will be interesting to see maybe what is going to happen on the other side, and what the opposition will be having in store in terms of the president's tour down here at the coast, and more importantly here in Mombasa County, where the governor has been bashing the Jubilee administration in terms of their leadership style and so many other issues, call it corruption and other issues. So it will also be interesting to see what is happening at Jomvu. But we understand by the time we were leaving there at around 1 or 1:30, the guests were streaming in, yes, but the crowd was not sizable as compared to this, which is here at Jomvu primary school. So maybe as the day builds up, the day ends up, we'll be able to have a look and tell us, tell our viewers maybe what is happening here as well as in Jomvu at Mvita grounds. Yusuf.
One final question, Francis. This is not the first time that the president has toured Mombasa. Is it the 5th, 6th? Actually, we've lost the count there. What fresh angle, or rather, what is something fresh that is going to tell the people there? And yeah, as much as you can, going to answer that. Actually, there's something else I wanted to ask you. Let me remember that. But first of all, explain that to us.
Yeah. Well, security is key here, not only in Mombasa and Lamu, but the coast region is one of the issues that are regarded as very serious in terms of the locals. And given that this region has faced a number of terror attacks, then we also expect the president to touch a little bit on it, given that he's also scheduled to go for Lamu on Monday, that is tomorrow, and Tana River. And specifically for Mombasa County, you would remember that the coast regional coordinator, Nelson Marwa, has been blaming some of the leaders from the opposition, namely the current member of parliament from Jomvu, Babadi Twalib, has been blamed in one occasion or the other. Also, the Kisauni member of parliament has been criticized by Marwa that he is sponsoring some of the gangs in this area, and maybe that's some of the issue the opposition will be looking at in terms of answering the government side, and security matters are concerned here in Mombasa. Security matters are concerned here in Mombasa, and looking at the politics of Jubilee here, trying to make some inroads in an area whereby this area is regarded as an opposition stronghold. Maybe for the perception that given that there has been some development in terms of this area and the Changamwe constituency in terms of decongesting Mombasa, this could be one of the reasons maybe they have chosen to come here, as well as this. Remember, this is the first political rally that the president and his deputy are making here in Mombasa after launching the SGR project. So maybe they will be touching on those issues and other issues as we head to the general election. And remember, they have been selling the idea of unifying this country and having a peaceful election. So those are the issues maybe we will be looking at and trying to see if there will be another issue that the president and his deputy will be touching on here in Mombasa.
Francis, finally, I remember my question, and I was about to ask you, for how long do you expect the president to pitch tent there?
Well, currently we understand he's at Malindi addressing a rally. So any moment from now, let's say around 3:34, there maybe the president will be around, or latest at 5 p.m. because given that they have a very tight schedule, and the rally usually when the president is here and his deputy, most of their programs are expected to end at around 5:30. So maybe from around 3:30 to 4, then we can be able to have a definite answer in terms of what time the president will be here. But in an hour's time, maybe the president should be around here.
Many thanks, Francis. For that, we're going to link up with Francis Mtalaki shortly once, of course, that rally by President Uhuru Kenyatta, Jomvu Kuu, starts. But for now, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. We have it lined up for you, so don't go too far.